Civil 3D makes it easy to design parcels by providing tools that include intelligent parcel objects, which will maintain relationships between other parcel objects so your design changes are dynamically updated. Parcels are stored in the Prospector tab under a site to better aid you in subdivision design. If I expand my sites category, I have a site here called Phase 1. If I select it, you will notice that all the parcels in this drawing are contained in the Phase 1 site. As you will also see, parcels will interact with each other, thereby making it very easy to maintain the geometric relationships between each of the parcels. For instance, let's zoom into this parcel location here. I'll select this parcel line, and by simply moving this parcel edge here, you'll notice that all the parcel objects will update automatically that are abutting that other parcel. Notice that there are not two parcel lines, even though there are two parcels here. They have a shared line which will maintain the geometric relationship between the two. Alignments are also part of a site, and as you can see here, I have the alignments for the main road and this side road as well. If I were to adjust these alignments, the parcels will update automatically. Parcels, as with all Civil 3D objects, have settings and styles that you need to be aware of. If we go to the Settings tab, Parcel category, we have the different styles that you can use to define and automate how your parcels should be created within your drawing. For instance, the parcel styles control the display and properties of parcels. I'll go ahead and double-click this property parcel, and navigating the different tabs, you can see that you can define a fill distance. You can define the name template right here that can control the actual name of the parcel, how segments will be displayed, as well as the display tab, which controls if you have the parcel segments displayed, what layer they go on, and the area fill that you may want to display for your parcels. You can also define the hatch pattern that will be used to control the display of the area fill. Note that the parcel objects will display in plan, model, and section view if you so desire. The label styles also control the area, line, and curve labels. So for instance, the label style called name square foot acres will display the square foot and acreage of the parcel as long as that parcel has this label style associated to it. As you can see, the General tab, as with all label styles, controls the layer that the label will go on. The Layout tab controls the content of the actual label. Note that you can add additional content by simply clicking the drop-down here and adding a line, a block, whatever kind of features your standards require to plot your labels. Don't forget, click on the Contents field and then click on the ellipsis button here to actually control what gets added within the actual label. There's also table styles that allow you to control the line and curve tables or segment tables if you need to add those to your drawing. This concludes this video discussing an overview of parcels. Civil 3D makes it easy to take standard AutoCAD objects and convert them to parcels. So let's look at our drawing and see what we have. In the drawing, we have a polyline that is representative of the existing boundary within our project. We want to convert this to a parcel object so we can begin the subdivision process. In the Home tab, Create Design panel, the Parcel dropdown, the tool is located there. I'll click on Create Parcel from Objects. Then you are prompted to either select lines, arcs, or polylines to convert them into parcels. Also note the command line option to actually select an X-reference object. So this is a really nice addition to this tool, as you can actually select an object that might be contained in a reference file. This object is in this file, so I'll go ahead and select it, and then press Enter when I'm done. Then you're prompted to define the site that the parcel needs to be located in, as well as all the different styles for all the different parts of the parcel. In this drawing, I only have one site, but you'll notice here that I can actually create a new site if I need to. This controls the parcel style that will be used for the AutoCAD objects. This is the layer that will be applied. If you want to add some sort of suffix, you could actually do so by simply clicking the suffix option and typing in a dash, and maybe typing in existing. You can define the property line layer for those as well by simply clicking here. And then for this one, we'll actually type a -E for existing. Then the area label style. In this case, I want to select name, square foot, and acres. And then for the line segment labels, which one do you want to select from? And if you look in the drawing, we have many to choose from. But in this case, I want to simply select the iron pipe node label so it'll show an iron pipe at each of the individual vertices. For the curve segment labels, we can select a generic one, but there are no curves in our polyline. Toggle on automatically add segment labels, and if you want to, you can erase the existing entities. I'm actually going to turn that off so I still maintain that I have the existing entity, and then click OK, and now we have our parcel. So notice that the label style has gone in and put a masking circle in there, which is really nice if you want to show some iron pipe locations. Also, we have the area label, which in this case is showing the property name and the number, and the total square footage and acreage. So you can very easily create parcels from just regular AutoCAD objects. Let's go ahead and look at where this parcel is located. I'll go to the Prospector tab, and under Sites, we have Phase 1, and then we have the alignments which are in this site as well, so we can actually utilize them to create our right-of-way. But if we look at the Parcels category, we now have that one parcel located here. If I select it, you'll notice that there's a nice little preview that shows me that parcel within this site. Let's go ahead and right-click on it and go to Properties to see some of the properties that are available within a parcel. If you go to the Information tab, you can change the style being used right here. Notice that the name is coming from the name template that's defined in this parcel style. If you want to name it something yourself, toggle this off and simply change the name in here. I'll toggle this on, and let's go ahead and copy this style right from this dialog box, and we'll actually use this style, but we'll just append some text to it to actually rename the parcel. So instead of property, we want to call this one property existing. I'll select OK, and then click Apply, and if we look in the drawing, you'll notice that the name has now changed to property existing. We can also see it in the parcel properties. The Composition tab allows you to change the area label style if you want to. The Analysis tab actually will perform a basic inverse and map check analysis. You can also define the point of beginning if you want to. I'll go ahead and click on that, and what you'll see is it'll actually show you the point of beginning as it currently exists in the drawing. If you want to change that point of beginning, let's say to this location here, you can pick that, and then the point of beginning is defined in the report here. I can also right-click in here, select all, and copy and paste that somewhere, but I'll show you in a second, you can actually just simply do that right from the actual Prospector tab. The user-defined properties is available to create custom fields if you want to. For example, let's say a parcel may have a garage unit in it, or some sort of other property you want to use to leverage and then put in your label style. I'll click OK. And as you can see, that label is updated. Some of the other things that you can do with this parcel and any other parcel is right-click on it, and you can export that analysis. This was the tab within the parcel properties that I could select all the text and copy it out to a text file, but I can simply export it with this tool right here. This concludes this video discussing creating parcels from objects. Civil 3D provides a simple tool to create right-of-way parcels. So in my drawing, I've already created the parcel boundary for the major parcel, and notice how the alignments have also been created. And so, as you can see, there are 3 separate parcels because the alignments are in the same site, and the geometric relationships are controlling the amount of parcels within the site. The tool is located in the Create Design panel of the Home tab under Parcel dropdown. We'll click on Create Right-of-Way, and then if you look at the command line window, it's prompting you to select the parcels. Now at first, you might think you want to select the parcel segments, but you do not. You want to actually select the parcel area label. So you do need these displayed to actually be able to create right-of-way parcels. I'll click on these 3 parcels here, and then I'll right-click because I'm done with my selection set. And then you have a few parameters that you can define. So first off, what's the offset from the alignment for the parcel right-of-way? Around boundaries, how do you want it to be cleaned up? So in our municipality's standards, we have chamfers, and the radius should be set to 25 foot. And again, we have the same exact setting for the alignment intersections. Click OK, and there we have our right-of-way parcels. Now actually, these are not a different type of parcel. This tool is basically a super offset tool that creates parcels after it offsets those objects. And so as you can see, we actually have some additional parcels located within our site. In the Prospector tab, under my site, I'm going to right-click on here and select Refresh. And you'll notice that it actually gives you a nice little preview of your entire site. If you look at the individual parcels, you can select each of the individual ones and see exactly how they are structured. So now what I want to do is I want to actually change the styles being used by the roadway parcels because they do not need to actually have a label style displayed at all. And I also want to change the parcel style that's being used as well. So I can simply select these here, and let me turn off selection cycling. I'm going to select all these parcels that are in my roadway, and I should have a total of 1 for this corner, 2 for this one, and 3 for that one. I can now go to the Properties palette and simply change the label style that's being used to None. So right now I can set this to No Display, and now I no longer have the labels displayed. I also would like to change their style to a road type style. That way it'll go on the proper layer and display properly. One thing to mention about parcels and alignments, they are not dynamically linked in that if I change anything about the alignment, they will not update the parcel automatically. So for instance, I've noticed that I've got a little bit of a problem right here. So what I'm going to do is I'll actually change my alignment to snap perpendicularly to this location here. And it would update the area label as that has obviously changed, but notice how it did not update the parcel segment. So Civil 3D with alignments and parcels are not dynamically linked. That's okay because I can simply select this and then just delete it. And now what I can do is I can recreate my parcels. So I'm going to right click on the phase 1 site and go to refresh. And I need to actually get that label turned back on so I can actually go in and select it to create my parcels. So if you look, you can actually navigate the different parcels, and then I can right click on the parcel in question and go to Properties. I'll go to the Composition tab and then change it from No Display to Name, Square Foot, and Acres. Click OK, and there is my area label. I'll go back to the Parcel dropdown, Create Right-of-Way, and I'll just simply select this one here, right-click, I still have the same exact settings, click OK, and now I have recreated that parcel. I will need to go back in here and change this to the correct area label style and correct style. So again, the right-of-way parcel command is a great command, but it simply is an offset tool and there's no dynamic linking to the actual alignments. Simply delete it and recreate the right-of-way. Civil 3D provides some really cool tools to laying out parcels. These tools are located in the Home tab, Create Design panel, under the Parcel dropdown. And here's the Parcel Creation tools. In the Parcel Layout Tools toolbar, you have access to many different methods to create parcels. You also have access to the parameters that you can define to create those parcels as well. If you click inside any one of the fields, you'll notice a nice little preview updates to show you what exactly you are editing. If I select the minimum area, that's the area that you are defining. If you select minimum frontage, it shows you a nice graphical representation of the parameter that you are defining. It's a very user-friendly interface to changing any of the settings before you even begin creating parcels. I'm going to set my automatic mode to off, and we'll leave the values that are defined here. And then we will go to the Parcel Layout drop-down here, and let's go through some of the tools. Let's first start with a slide line create. You are then prompted to create the parcels, and you need to define what site they need to go into. In this drawing, I only have one, but again, do not forget how important it is to make sure that they go into the correct site, as the geometries that are inside that site will all interact with each other. Pick a parcel style. I'll select single family. If you want to define a new layer for the newly created objects, simply click on this layer button here, and you can add things like a suffix, or I can just type in -sf for a single family. And we'll do the same thing for the layer here as well. Again, only edit those if you need to. If you want to add label styles to all the different parts of a parcel, you can toggle the automatically add segment labels here and define the label styles that you want to add to those parcel objects. We'll click OK. And then now you are prompted to specify a parcel to be subdivided. So again, when you don't know what to do, look to the command line window, and as you can see, that's what it's asking us for. So what you're going to do here is you're going to actually select the area label. So you will need to have the area labels displayed so that you can actually select them. I'll go ahead and select this first one. And now it's asking me to specify a start point on the frontage. So the frontage for this parcel is here. So I'll go ahead and snap to the endpoint there. And sometimes it might go the wrong direction. What you need to do is simply reverse the direction. So I'll start over here, go this way, and then start to go that way. And as you can see, it very simply will grab on to that new location. I'll pick that point there. And now it's asking me, because this is a line that we're defining, it needs to know the angle from that object that you want to define the line for. We want an angle of 90 degrees, but you can of course type in whatever angle you need to based on your subdivision design. It gives you a nice graphical representation before you even place the parcel in there. And if you decide that you want to increase or decrease any of the parameters, you can do so. And it'll automatically update the preview. So this is a really great interface to Parcel Creation. Let's set this back to 250, press enter, and notice that when I move my cursor back into the drawing, it actually prompts me and says, do you want to accept the results, yes or no? And I'll say yes, and then I've got my parcel. Notice how it keeps going with the parameters you've already defined in here with a nice little preview, and of course you can change these afterwards if you need to, and it will automatically adjust it because it makes the assumption you want to just keep going and designing parcels based on the parameters that you've defined here. So it's a really great little feature of the Parcel Layout tools. Now let's say I want to actually automatically generate some parcels based on these specific criteria that I've defined here. There is this automatic mode right here. I'll go ahead and toggle this on, and as you can see, it automatically shows all the parcels based on the parameters that you've defined. Note that you can still pan in here if you need to, so you can still hold the middle button down and pan. And you also have a few options to take care of the area for the automatic layout. So if you click this little drop down, right now it's creating a parcel from the remainder. You could place the remainder in the last parcel or redistribute the remainder. I'll select redistribute remainder, and it automatically adjusts all those parcels, and I'll click yes to accept, and I'm done. Really cool tools, really nice to work with. If let's say I want to keep these parameters, but I don't need to see this anymore, there is this collapse toolbar and expand toolbar button that allows me to collapse that, and then I can move the toolbar around without having it to be so obtrusive in my drawing. In this next example, let's go ahead and just draw a straight line across to cut this parcel into two. Let's say we want to make this a nice big parcel for a nice big home, and we'll subdivide these as well. So I could simply draw an AutoCAD line and then convert that AutoCAD object to a parcel segment, but I also have some linear tools right here. I can add a fixed line by 2 points. I'll go ahead and pick the points here. So I want to start from the midpoint here and go perpendicular to this line there. And I'm done. So it just splits the parcels, and you now have two parcels. I now can go to the drop down here, and let's go ahead and do a swing line create and see what that does for us. We're prompted to select the parcel to subdivide, and I'll go ahead and pick this parcel here. And then it says select start point on frontage, so we're defining that frontage. So in this case, I want to go this way, so we'll click here, and I'll snap to the endpoint there. Notice how it shows you the arrow and everything. And then it says specify swing point. So I want to swing, let's say from this point here, somewhere along this parcel edge. Now because I have automatic turned on, I can simply click on this and say off, and it will automatically show me the results that I have selected here. I could say no, and then we could begin again. So I'll pick here, and let's say that's the result that I want, and I'll just click yes here. Notice how it keeps going with those parameters, but in this case, we want to actually go ahead and do a freeform create. So I'll pick on freeform create, and notice how it automatically, as you hover your mouse into the different parcels, it will do a freeform create. So if let's say you wanted to go to the midpoint of this line here to split this parcel in two, I could just pick there, and then I'll define a direction for this, and I'll just press enter for perpendicular because that's what I have as an option. So I'll press enter, it's perpendicular, and we're done. Very simple, really cool tools, and so on. So let's just pick the line tool again here, and we'll go from the midpoint here, and we'll say perpendicular to this segment here. Now let's say we want to actually put an angle point of some sort in here. You'll notice that there's a drop down right here to insert PIs, delete PIs, or break apart PIs. So I'll just click on insert PI, And all you need to do is pick somewhere near the segment that you want to insert a PI. I'll pick here. It automatically adds a PI point within that parcel to automatically generate that for you. The Parcel Layout tools are a really fantastic, robust, dynamic set of tools. It makes parcel creation very easy to do.